Hi, welcome back to 345 Delta Foxtrot. My name is David Ferguson. I've been making a series of videos on rivets, riveting, and the strength of rivets. And I think this is going to be my last one on that topic. There were just a few miscellaneous things that I wanted to go over to kind of finish it off. One is how to hold a rivet gun. And this is a 3X rivet gun. I got this one from Cleveland Aircraft Tools. It has an airflow regulator on it. And right now, the airflow is turned way down. I should warn you that there's going to be some loud noises in this video. I'm going to turn the air back up on this rivet gun, and it's going to make a lot of noise. So you've been warned. Turn the volume down if you want, or whatever you want to do. But I'm going to show you the Cleveland aircraft method of riveting and holding your rivet gun. And it works extremely well, and I highly recommend it. It has one drawback, and that is it requires 3 hands. So I can't actually rivet anything because I only have 2 hands. I don't have anybody here to help me. But I can show you what to do, and I think the rest will be obvious. Okay. When I first got this, before I watched their video, I would try and hold the bucking bar in one hand and rivet with the other. And the problem is the rivet gun just bounces all around. It's very hard to hold it right on the head of the rivet. And it's easy to put in a smiley, put in a dent in the side of your plane, you know, things like that. So what you do is, say what your riveting is right here. You just take the rivet gun and center it on the rivet. And then you just grab the mushroom set and hold it flush against the skin, or whatever your piece of metal is that you're riveting. And then you just pull the trigger. Now, the first time you do this, I recommend that you turn the air pressure way down, or the flow on the regulator here way down. That's just so that you can convince yourself that when you do this, you're not going to mash your fingers and end up in the emergency room or something. Okay? After you've done it once, you know, you won't have to turn the air pressure down again. You know, you just use it as normal. But okay, that's what it's like with the air pressure turned way down. Now I'm going to turn the air pressure up. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but we'll do the same thing again. Okay, that is actually a higher air pressure than I normally use. Okay, that's the air pressure that I normally use. So, like I said, center on the rivet, grab it, hold it against the skin, hold it flush, and it doesn't mash your fingers. You're holding the mushroom set in place, and it's the rivet gun that's bouncing up and down. So that's basically all there is to it. And with two people, it works very well. And by holding it in place like that, you never screw up, basically. The least experienced person should be the one with the rivet gun. The more experienced person is going to be the one with the bucking bar. And so you can teach somebody how to hold the rivet gun and, you know, do that end of things very quickly, 2 minutes. And they'll have it down, well, probably want to actually do 2 or 3 rivets before you have everything down pat, but it's very simple and quick to learn. Okay, the other end of things is the bucking bar. And this is a 470 AD 4-10, I think, big rivet. Just so you can see it, I hope. And this is the normal tungsten bucking bar that comes with the Cleveland Aircraft kit. And it works very well. What you would like to do, in theory, is hold the bucking bar like that, so that all the mass of the bucking bar is behind the rivet. That's what you want, is a lot of inertia, a lot of mass right behind the rivet, so that when the rivet gun pushes it, it smashes into the bucking bar and forms the shop head. Now the problem is you almost never have that much room to put a bucking bar in like that. That's probably 3.5, maybe 4 inches, and there's just not enough room. And also, the surface is fairly small, and it would be fairly easy to slide off the head of the rivet, off the, not the head, the other end of the rivet. So another option would be to hold the bucking bar like this. But that has a similar problem as, you know, it'd be fairly easy to fall off the head of the rivet. The way I think most everybody would use this tungsten bucking bar is like this. The disadvantage of that is that you don't have all that much mass behind the rivet. You only have about maybe 1/4 of the mass of the bucking bar right behind the rivet. So only 1/4 of it is useful. This bucking bar weighs about 2 pounds. So when you hold it like this, you only have about 1/2 pound of useful bucking bar right behind the rivet. The rest of it is just, you know, bouncing around. It's just, you know, a fulcrum or whatever. It's moving up and down. And so 3/4 of your bucking bar out here is not useful. So this bucking bar I wrapped in tape, and it also has some cardboard around it. And that's to keep it from scratching up the inside surface. You know, it's going to be bouncing around, it's going to be moving. And, this helps a little bit. The trouble is, you know, the cardboard and the tape bounce around and move, and they wear out fairly quickly. And but it does help to you know, reduce the scratching a little bit. It's probably not a big deal if you end up with some small scratches on the inside of your plane, but anyway, so that's the normal tungsten bucking bar. This one is called the mini tungsten bucking bar, and it's about the same weight as the regular tungsten bucking bar, but it's a different shape. And the advantage of this one is that you have considerably more mass right behind the rivet where you want it, about half of the bucking bar. You have about a pound of mass behind the rivet with this bucking bar, and you only had about a half a pound with that one. So you have twice as much mass or inertia where you want it. So this is my bucking bar of choice whenever I can use it. Now, unfortunately, it is a little bit bigger in this dimension, so there are some tight spots where you can't get this one in. So if you're only going to buy one bucking bar, this one is probably the one to buy. And these are somewhat expensive. They're about $200 a piece. But if you can afford two bucking bars, this one is very good, and it's the one I use the most. And I highly recommend it. It's excellent. The only disadvantage is that there are tight spaces where you might not be able to get it in there. This is a steel bucking bar, and steel has a density of about a third that of tungsten. So I don't like it. I never use it. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend any steel bucking bars. You know, a tungsten bucking bar is kind of expensive, but you're probably not going to need it long term. And it's probably going to be in excellent condition when you're done building your plane. So if you can buy it new for $200 and you can sell it for $150 when you're done. And so if you look at it that way, it's not really all that expensive. And I definitely recommend that you go with at least one tungsten bucking bar. Okay, I was talking about how to hold the rivet gun and keep it from bouncing around. I bought these flat sets before I really knew about the Cleveland Aircraft method of holding the rivet gun. And so they have a rubber ring around the edge to try and hold it in place when you're doing one-handed rivet gun holding. They don't work very well. I don't recommend them. Find a friend, get your wife, girlfriend, brother or sister, kid down the street to help you rivet. And it's just a two-person job, and you don't spend all that much of your time actually riveting. So you don't need a helper, you know, all the time, just on special occasions. So surely you can find, you know, somebody to help you out. Let's see. These are other sets for roundhead rivets. They come in different lengths for size 3 rivets, size 4 rivets. They come in different shapes. Sometimes you need a bend in order to be able to get it in where you want it. Let's see. This stuff here is for back riveting. It's a steel plate. It's the plain ordinary steel plate. It'd be nice if it were a little bit bigger. If Cleveland Aircraft, if you're watching this video, please offer a larger steel plate. It can't possibly be all that expensive. This is a set for back riveting, and this is back riveting tape. You can just use Scotch tape to hold your rivets in place. You know, you're going to want to put all your rivets in, tape them down, and then turn them over so that they're sitting on the steel plate, and then then you'll rivet them with a set like this. The disadvantage of Scotch tape is that it tends to break around the edge of the rivet. And so when you peel it off, it peels off from the skin, but you have a little piece of tape on the top of each rivet head. And you can, of course, peel it off, but it's a pain to peel off a tiny little piece of Scotch tape off of every rivet. This is much stronger. It's also much more expensive. You know, Scotch tape is probably $1 a roll, and this is more like $15 a roll. But it does work very well. And it is clear, it's transparent in the center, so you can see where all your rivets are. Let's see. When you're holding your bucking bar, it does bounce around, and I find that it's useful to wear a glove. This particular one I got from Harbor Freight, and a few days ago they were on sale for $1 a pair. So it's very inexpensive to try out, and it does seem to help. When you're holding your bucking bar, it provides a little padding, and when everything's bouncing around, it's just a little bit more comfortable. So this is another thing that I recommend. I warned you about the loud noises, and I didn't wear ear protection. I set a bad example for this video. Sorry about that. This is some ear protection that I got off of Amazon, and it works pretty well. This I got from Harbor Freight, and it doesn't work so well. It's better than nothing, but this is like $3, and this is like $10. I recommend that you spend the $10 and get some halfway decent ear protection. And I'll put a link to this in the description for this video. Okay, I think that's it for the rivet gun and that type of stuff, but I may as well mention the squeezer. I've talked about it several times in my other videos. This one is made by it's sold by Cleveland Aircraft Tools, and it's very nice. To adjust it, this ram just rotates. One rotation is a 32nd of an inch, and it's very easy to adjust and you know, get it all set up so that it squeezes rivets the right amount. This I forgot what they call it. This yoke here, it's you know, it's for riveting, you know, ribs and spars and things like that, where you need to be able to get in, you know, around to the other side. This is the yoke that it comes with, or the kit comes with. This is a 3-inch yoke, and it's pretty easy to change out yokes. These pins, I think they're 3/8 inch in diameter. These pins just push out, and when they're new, they're quite tight, and so you're going to have to, you know, work them a few times before they, you know, loosen up and get a little easier to take out. So this is that yoke. This is the ram, and it's a little confusing. I hope you can see that. The ram has a flat spot on one side, and it sure looks like the flat spot goes toward the outside of the squeezer. It does not. The flat part goes toward the inside of the squeezer. If you put it in wrong, it will not move up and down freely, and it'll get stuck, and then things just won't work right. So to put in the 3-inch yoke, it just goes in like that, and you pop these pieces back in, and that's all there is to it. Another thing that I like a lot and I recommend is these flexible air hoses sold by Cleveland Aircraft Tools. I believe they're 10 feet long. They're very flexible and easy to deal with. Very nice. I highly recommend them. Now they do use a different fitting, so you're going to want to buy several of the male end of these fittings. So you can put one on each tool that you're going to use it with, and then the hose will just snap on like that. Very nice. Works well. I think that's about it for the squeezer itself. It's pretty easy to use. Let's see, this is a different yoke. This is for a tight fit. This yoke here has a set. It has a flat set in it right now. It doesn't have to be flat, but normally you would put some sort of set in right here. I don't. And this one, that one is quite large. Let's put it in. Okay. So you need that much room in order to, get your squeezer in behind on one side of the rivet. This one does not have a set on this end. The ram would still be here, and the ram would have a set. But you only need this much space in order to get in behind the rivet. And of course that means that, you can only have a flat, this has a built-in flat set. And so there's no other option with this. And it's for tight spaces, and I do not find it very useful. I don't really recommend buying one of these. If you really need it, then you can buy it at that time. And I believe I've talked about these before, and these are very nice. It's a special set of sets, 2 sets, and therefore doing trailing edges. So they're flat, but they're tilted. They're tilted to match, a trailing edge coming to a point. And they work very well. I don't think they're all that expensive. I don't remember exactly how much they are. Let's see if I can get this out. Okay, what I recommend is that you take a rubber band and put it around the back of the yoke. Oops. And then put these sets in place like that. Oops. So the rubber band will hold everything in the correct position. And then you just, come along and rivet like normal. And I find that it's building a trailing edge is fairly easy and comes out very well using this. And so I recommend them. So I believe that that's it when it comes to rivets and riveting. If you have any questions, leave a comment or a question, and I'll try and answer that. As I always do, I'll put links to some of this stuff in the description. And thanks for watching.